शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Now, where are we? Let us chant the mantra that we are on. अन्नाद्वै प्रजाः प्रजायन्ते याकाश्च पृथिवीगश्रिताः अथो अन्नेनैव जीवन्ति अथ इनदपि यन्त्यन्ततः अन्नकं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठम् तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते सर्वं वै तेन्नमाप्नुवन्ति येन्नं ब्रह्मोपासते अन्नगं हि भूतानां ज्येष्ठम् तस्मात् सर्वौषधमुच्यते अन्नात् भूतानि जायन्ते जातान्यन्नेन वर्धन्ते अद्यतेति च भूतानि तस्मादन्नं तदुच्यत इति. That much is enough. Even though the mantra goes on a little more, that portion we'll see a little later. Otherwise, because it's a slight change of topic. Okay, yeah. So we have been looking at this. We are in the Bhashya. Let me point out where we are in the Bhashya. One second. Where are we? Not here.
39th.
Thank you. 39, yes. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly what I was looking at. So this paragraph 39, we are there, and we have finished a little bit. Annat prasadi bhava parinatat vai, that part, vai iti smaranartha we saw, annena eva atho api जाताः अन्नेन एव जीवन्ति प्राणान् धारयन्ति वर्धन्ते इति अर्थः. Then atha api enat annam apiyanti. This is exactly where we are. Atha api enat annam apiyanti apigachanti. So this is where we are. Atha api enat means annam. So enat means food. Another word for annam, food. Apiyanti means prati gachanti. They go abhimukhi bhavanti. Tikakar. They go towards the food. Who all the people who are all the bhutas, here we are not talking of jivas. We are talking of bhutas as in bodies. So the bodies are eaten up by the food. That is the idea. So, and we saw yesterday that example of the Zoroastrian disposal of the bodies in that tradition. We saw that. And similarly, like that, even if the body is buried, then it becomes fodder for maggots and other worms, etc. And so, like this, you are eaten. The body is eaten by the food. That is the idea. So annam apiyanti, apigachanti, apigachanti. Bhashyakara says api shabdah pratishabdarthe. Take api to be in the sense of prati, towards. Abhimukhi bhavanti ityarthah. So this is the idea that one eats the food, one is born of food. This is very important, born of food. And if you say, oh, I wasn't born of food, I only drank mother's milk. Mother, what was she doing? Mother was eating katrika and all these things. Mother was also eating all the vegetables and all the food mother was eating. And the food that the mother ate alone allowed the milk to form. Otherwise, how will she feed the baby if she doesn't eat? So even if you say, no, 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 I didn't eat, I was raised on mother's milk. Mother's milk also is because of the food she ate. So indirectly, one is born of food. One means here the body. So the body is born of food, nourished by food, and after the nourishment is done, what is there? There is that decline happens, but at least it is sustaining. So that sustenance is also by food. And then finally, off to food, the body goes. The body is consumed by the food. And this is a very interesting cycle. And this cycle we see in the Jagat, very, very nicely. And so this cycle is pointed out, as I said, for many different reasons. One of the main reasons it is pointed out is to change the relationship with food. Change the relationship with food on the empirical level and on the paramarthika level, at the level of the absolute. This relationship with food is actually a relationship with Brahman. The food is a nimitta. The food goes away. There is no food, so to speak. And instead of the food, what do we have? We have Brahman. That is the idea. So, and then we have an upasana also. So this is the idea here. So the apigachanti must be seen as pratigachanti. The api shabda, the upasarga before the verb, the prefix should be pratigachanti, pratyarthe. Prati means abhimukhi kritya. Annam abhimukhi kritya gachanti. They go towards the food. That is the idea. They go towards annam eva. They all become annam alone. They become one with annam. You see here there are strains of that the Advaita. We see this very, very clearly. That oneness with annam is pointed out. And then, of course, maybe maybe the person is not ready for oneness with Brahman, not understanding that how can I be Brahman? So many questions may be there. What is this Brahman? I look here, no Brahman. I look there, no Brahman. So where is this Brahman? How can I be Brahman? It doesn't matter. Do you see food? Yes, it is very tasty. And did you eat the food? Yes. And what happened when you ate the food? Oh, I became one with the food. Yes, that's why I'm very content now. And this food coma, food samadhi means you are one with food. So this is, where the person is at. And the Upanishad gently guides the person, very, very slowly and gently. So this must not be taken, and later on I'll speak to this more. This must not be taken as wrong teaching. This is not wrong. This is a fact. No, Annam is Brahman. Brahman is not Annam. This we keep forgetting. I have to keep saying this. Annam is Brahman. Brahman doesn't happen to be Annam. And so therefore, this is something we have to absolutely, see that it is a one-way equation all the way. And so they go towards Annam, means they become Annam alone. They become one with Annam. Therefore, annenaiva api gacchanti. And then annam prati liyante iti arthaha. Means they all get dissolved into annam alone. Same thing, whether the body is left open for the vultures to feed on, or whether it is interred, or whether it is burnt, then the end result is annam alone. And then what? Antataha. Antataha means ante. Jivana lakshanayaha. Lakshanayaha ante. Jivana Lakshana means signs of life, literally. Don't say Lakshana means indirect, implied meaning. That's not here. Here it just means the characteristics of life. What are the characteristics of life? Characteristics of life means the person is breathing, eating, moving, may not be moving, may be bedridden, but still breathing, eating, talking, whatever it is. So some signs of life are there. But when these signs of life abate, means when this jivana lakshanayaha vriddhehe parisamaptau. Vriddhe here doesn't mean vriddhi. It means the upkeep. It means the nurturance of the jivana lakshana. And I pointed out yesterday the verb jiv pranadharane. That's why jivaha pranadhari. This is the dhatu patha, the etymological meaning of the word jiv. Jiv we translate in English as to live, and here in Sanskritam jiv pranadharane means that the meaning of the word jiv is the one that is able to or the ability to hold the signs of life. That is pranadharana, to be able to hold prana, to be able to hold manas, etc. So, vriddhehe parisamapta. Vriddhe doesn't mean when the vriddhi, the body, when the body is parisamapta means when it is when the body stops growing. No, that is not what is meant here. Body, when the body is unable to process nourishment, and nourishment in any form. We are not saying that the person must have rice and rasam or something like that, or curd rice, yogurt rice. No, no. It can be the food can be nasally fed. As long as they are able to sustain that, then jivana is continuing. Or sometimes there is a pipe attached to the stomach, a little food bag, and they feed it through the stomach pipe. That is also okay. Or the person, for some reasons, they are not able to take in food, they are on a liquid diet. That is also annam. So we have to be very flexible in all these definitions. That is also annam. And so the person, as long as they are able to process the food in any form that it is given, and it can be given in the form of medicine, they are able to process it. It's given in the form of liquid, they are on a juice diet, okay. Or no, they can't have juice, they can only have milk, okay. Or they can have just a food pipe, okay. They have to be nasally fed, okay. It's still all of that is included in annam. Annam doesn't mean the person has to have a 5-course meal and then one by one finish all the courses. No, it can be anything that sustains life. Vriddhi here is not the becoming big, because becoming big only happens for a certain amount of time in life. Maybe one grows till 25. They say the brain grows till 24 years. And for anybody who's a little late, we can add one more year of brain development, 25, let us say. Then, then what? After that, there is only sustenance. There is not growing anymore, is not happening. So, vriddhehe means of the growth, parisamaptau, at the end of the growth. When the growth has come to an end, technically that is the translation here, but we don't look at the translation here. We have to use the brains a little bit and say vriddhehe means here when the body stops taking the food. And we see this at the end of the person's life. Even Ganga water they put in the mouth. and it comes out. Unable to take because the person has already gone or close to being gone. Not able to do that. Even a teaspoonful of water, they are not able to ingest. And so this is the antataha means very elaborately Bhashyakara is saying that vriddhehe jivana lakshanayaha vriddhehe parisamaptau. So this just means nourishment. When the nourishment he is not able to take, no intravenous feeding, no nasal feeding, no stomach pipe, nothing. Nothing the person is able to take, not even a few ice cubes in the mouth. Then this is the food cannot be sustain the body anymore. Why? Because the organs are impaired. The person is on the brink of multi-organ failure at the end of the life. So, renal failure, liver failure, everything. So, therefore, vriddhehe parisamaptam jivana lakshanayaha, then that capacity to assimilate food, to sustain and to live is coming to an end. That is that. If when it is not there, vriddhehe parisamaptam means antataha, this is the end. Now, there is a Patha Bheda. Patha Bheda means a little different reading, where in this particular section, so Vriddhehe Parisamaptau in some places is Vrittehe, the dental, double dental takara, Vrittehe Parisamaptau. And here, Vritti means what? Vritti means livelihood. Life itself is called Vritti. Vrittehe parisamaptau or vriddhehe parisamaptau, both are acceptable. And some in those days they did not have copies. Some brahmachari was transcribing the Bhashya, not transcribing, copying the Bhashya with the stencil on these leaves, manuscripts. Palm leaf manuscripts. On the palm leaf, brahmachari is stenciling making copies. This is how books were published in the olden days before paper. Books were published. And then what happened? Sleepy brahmachari. Sleepy brahmachari, instead of vritti wrote vriddhi, or instead of vriddhi wrote vritti, we don't know. Something. Sleepy brahmachari. And so this is called brahmachari truti. Truti means shortcoming on behalf of the brahmachari. That is why we get these patha bhedas, because it has survived through time, depending upon the manuscript that one has followed, and depending upon that manuscript which has then gone into print. And then so certain areas have certain kind of readings. But it's okay, because vrittehe parisamapta also absolutely adequate, no problem at all. So then vritti means life. So vrittehe parisamapta, when the life is gone, when the prana dharana shakti is not there for the body to live, it dies away. This is the idea. Then what happens? Parisamapta vrittehe. Then what happens then? So the question is asked, kasmat. Kasmat means how. Annam hi yasmat bhutanam praninam jyeshtham prathamajam. I feel something is left out in this version. Hold on. Let me look at another version. Yeah. Annam prati praliyante, we saw that. Antataha. Yeah. Parisamapto. Kasmat. Kasmat means how here. How? How do they go back to Annam? And Kasmat also means why. Why do they go back to Annam? Yasmat, because Annam hi bhutanam praninam jyeshtham prathamajam. A very, very important section here, and there is the need to, look at this closely. Otherwise, some mistakes will be made in assimilating and understanding. Kasmat means why, how. So why is this so? Because we already understood the reason earlier. Annad vai prajaha prajayante, Shruti said. Yah kashta prithivig shrutaha annenaiva jivanti, annena abhisamvishanti. All this we saw this. So the people are, all the bhutas, bodies are born of food, bodies are sustained by food, bodies go back, become one with food. First, the food becomes one with the body after a meal. Then, after several meals, the body becomes one with food. Ultimate and total, complete irony. Then, annam hi bhutanam jyeshtham. Jyeshtham means the eldest. Jyeshthatamam bhutanam jyeshthatamam jyeshtham, eldest. Eldest means what? Eldest doesn't mean like, in India, the siblings fight. I am the elder one. I should get the first chance to do this, do that. And even if there are twins in India, one is 10 minutes older than the one fellow is 10 minutes older than the other fellow. The 10-minute one will say, I am the older brother. So this is how it is. So this elder means respect. That is the whole idea. Elder, even by 2 minutes, means that person deserves respect, has been around for longer than I have. So I don't show off in front of the person. I look to that person for some kind of guidance, advice, etc. That's how the relationship is. And then because of this kind of a understanding and a relationship, it says that this annam hi bhutanam jyeshtham. So why? Because they go back to annam. And but then why do they go back to annam? And why do you say they are born of annam? They live by annam. They go back to annam. Why do you say it so? Say so? Kasmat katham? Because yasmat annam hi bhutanam praninam jyeshtham. Simply because annam was there before you were born. In your mummy's tummy, you did not make a sandwich and come out for your first meal. Okay, you just came out crying, helpless, cold, afraid. And in the mummy's tummy, where everybody was safe, feeling so secure, connected to the source via the umbilical cord, and then come out this big bad world without anything. All the people are staring and they're all 100 times bigger than me. And what is happening? And then umbilical cord is cut, severed, and then this is what it is. But Annam is already there. Is already there. Annam is already there, waiting. And for the baby, all the mammals find their way to the mother's milk without need for GPS. Yeah, no GPS is needed. And even the human baby is able to kind of move a little bit. And I suppose, if it's not such a staged, nowadays we have very staged and hospitalized births, etc. But then it will be interesting to see the how it happens, like people who go for home births and home deliveries, natural births, etc. There is an intelligence for the child to find the milk. And so like this, the food, the annam, there is the annam here. The annam is what the parents ate. What the parents ate is that annam which was then given to you in the form of milk, etc. And so, therefore, that annam was already available. Before you were born, annam was there. And then all the vegetables were there. Everything was there. And if certain vegetables became extinct, other vegetables were there. And so, before you were born, food was born. Food is born, yes. Oshadhibhyonnam. We saw that. Food itself is born. So we are not talking of, see, this is the beauty of it. We are here on a very empirical Vyavaharika Satta. We are not talking of, Brahman as Jagat Karanam. We are talking of Brahman in the form of Annam, which is also a Srishta Padartha. Just like the body, which is Srishta Padartha. Both of them are bhautika. Bhutebhyah jatam bhautika. They are all bhautikas. The food has come from the earth. And of course it is nourished by the sun and Agni in the form of fire, etc., etc., water, all these things. And so the food is a product of the five elements. And what is the body? The body, hello, is also the product of the five elements. There is no difference here. Food is also bhautika and the body is also bhautika. But there is a small difference. Why? One came before the other. First difference. One came before the other. What was the one that came? Food came before the body. In fact, the food sustained another body, and out of that body came this body. And so the food came first. Food is the first, food came first, and because the food came first, then this becomes it deserves respect. Food came first. Food is Brahman. These two things we have to remember. In point one. Point one, what? The food came first. Even though both are srishta, padartha, shariram srishtam, and then what? Annam also srishtam. They're all part of the jagat. They're all part of the srishti. So we are not talking of Brahman minus the jagat, satyam, jnanam, anantam, which we talked about. We are not interested in that right now. Because the person cannot go there. The person is just thinking about the next meal. Okay. And then that's why this whole section is to keep that person quiet by talking about food. How many classes now this Annamaya we have been talking? And so everybody is paying attention because it has something relevant to me. At least I can fantasize. And here we are talking of various cuisines and food. It is kind of comforting. And you feel secure because that, for the baby in the beginning, food is a form of security. And so this way, the food is there. But the food came before you. Food also srishta. Your body also srishta. Your body, mind, sense, complex srishta. Srishta means created. And then there's two differences here. First, food came before you. That is the main thing. Food came before. And so it is Jyeshtham Prathamajam, the first born before you. Anything that's born before you is first born. Why? Because you were not there to see if it was first born or second born. So it is first born. So food came before you. And then that food is the cause of this body. Second thing, it is why it is Jyeshtha, why it deserves respect. Very, very interesting. So just because somebody was born earlier than you, maybe that, that person, whoever was born earlier, some cousin, relative, whatever, let's say that person has gone astray and gone to bad ways, etc., etc., doesn't deserve respect here. But here let's think of another Jyeshtha, a kind of a person who sacrificed his or her own life, did not get married, did not start a family. Why? Because the parents were sick or deceased. And then this person took care of all the younger brothers and sisters, got them educated, got them married, made sure that they had houses to live in, all these things. Such a person, Jyeshtha, not just firstborn, but also extremely respected because of him or her. I am what I am today. In many families, such a person is there. Such a person of whom we can be very proud, who has sacrificed all their happiness, all their agenda, all their goals and ambitions, and just taken care of, a whole brood of brothers and sisters, and taken great pains to bring them up, even though there was very little money, very little support. Single-handedly they have done that. And so like this, that person is not only Jyeshtha in age, Prathamaja means firstborn, but also because of that person's sacrifice, because of that person, that elder sibling, I am who I am today. Now replace the elder sibling with food, and both the conditions are also met. Food is first born, and the food is the cause of this body that one gazes in front of the mirror and says, oh, not bad, not bad. Let's say you get up in the mirror in the morning and say, not bad at all, okay. And, so that is why are you able to say that? Why are you able to stand in front of the mirror? Why are you able to gaze lovingly for a change upon your visage, upon your reflection? Because you are there because of the food that you ate, because of the food that the parents ate, and their parents, and their parents, and their parents. Yeah, all the way. And so, therefore, this is the reason it is respected. So then, so it is Jyeshtham. And then, therefore, we have to see Jyeshtham in the relative way. Relative compared to this person endowed with a body mind sense complex. This deha, and the indweller of the deha is commenting that the food was born first, and then because the food is the cause of this body, it is called Jyeshtha, Prathamaja. Jyeshtha also has another connotation. And Jyeshtha doesn't mean, eternal. That's another connotation. Jyeshtha means the Prathamaja, the firstborn. Firstborn means what? Hiranyagarbha, Ishvara in the form of Hiranyagarbha, like that. No. Jyeshtha is relative because we are talking of the empirical reality where two products are being compared. One is the food, the other one is the eater of the food. This is what we are talking about. And one is the cause of the other. One was there before the other. Therefore, Jyeshtha. That is why. Okay, so Jyeshtha, the word is relative. Okay, and then this is therefore first Namarupa that was born is Annam. Annam is Namarupa. It's got a nama. You call it taco. Yeah, nama. And then it looks a certain way. And then that is Rupa. That's what it is. And then there is one shop also, Taco Bell. Some people call it Taco Hell, so whatever it is. And so this is so this got a Nama Rupa. And same thing, that same wheat or corn, few grains we have, wheat, some vegetables and seeds and all. You grind them up and then you make a taco, or you just roll them out. It becomes a tortilla. And then what else? You can make chapati, or you can make some kind of dumplings. Some way you steam it, you fry it, you roast it, you do something to it. It's all this. That's how it works. So Jyeshtha only from the standpoint of this Jagat, because that Annam has Nama Rupa and it belongs to the Srishtam Jagat alone. Therefore Jyeshtham. And so therefore Jyeshtha, and then Prathamam Jayate iti Prathamaja. So this Annam is called Prathamaja. Then he says, Annamayadinam hi itaresham bhutanam karanam annam. Itaresham bhutanam means for other bhutas. Annamayadinam. Annamayadinam bhutanam karanam. So Annamayadinam means not just Annamayadi, it should be Annamayanam, but Maya Adi Shabda is there. So the food pervades the body, definitely, because everywhere, wherever you see any kind of a functioning element, it is the food alone. And then it also, we are told, and we experience this all the time, it pervades the mind. Pervades the mind. Because you deprive yourself of food, you won't even, for let's say 10 days you don't eat. You will barely know your own name by that time. You'll have to find out, am I still alive? Number one. And who am I? You'll have to ask. You'll have to ask the significant other Who am I? You won't even remember. Why? Because the mind is also nourished. So Annamayadi means Annamaya nourished by food, Pranamaya nourished by food, and I am the doer, that notion also nourished by food, all Annamaya, everything. Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, all these are nourished by food, and all these various various places where the identification with the I is there too much, all those areas of error are nourished by food. They depend upon entirely upon Annam for their functioning. So if you deprive Pranamaya of food, it will not function at all. And so that's why Adipada, Adi is there. Because mind, prana depends on Annam. Pranamaya is meant for Annam only. Anna assimilation is necessary because the Pranamaya depends on Annam. Mind also depends on Annam. Mind depends on Annam. And I told that story yesterday. Shvetaketu was asked to abstain from food for 15 days and then asked to chant the Samaveda. And he was like, what? Who? No, not who. Ha, who? No, no, I can't say ha, I can't say who. I can't do anything. And so this is, if Annam is not there, this is the situation. So Tasmat, therefore, Annamayadinam, that's why this Adi Shabda is there. Annamayadinam Bhutanam Karanam. So all these bhutas are there. These jivas having a karya karana sanghata, having a body mind sense complex. So they are the bhutas. They are what are called prajaha. So these embodied beings. Now, what is in focus is not the jiva. We are not talking about the jiva. We are talking about the body mind sense complex of the jiva. Because the jiva is not born. Yeah, we are talking of two things that are born. Food is born. Of what? Plants, trees, etc. Food is born. And then the second thing that is born is the body mind sense complex is born. Oh, but what about the indweller? The indweller is the one that is pointing out to this fact. That is Brahman. That is understanding that I am this Brahman. So we are not talking of the jiva. We are not talking of the one endowed with the body mind sense complex. We are talking of the body mind sense complex itself. This we have to be very clear, otherwise there will be confusion in the assimilation. Okay, so then that is what, because the word bhuta means many many things. It could mean this, it could mean that, it could mean five panchabhutas, it could mean the bodies, and it could mean things that have come out of the elements. So here in this context, bhutas means the body mind sense complex, all the jivas, but endowed with the body mind sense complex. That body mind sense complex is what is being dissected and analyzed here. Why are we doing this spiritual dissection? Because the I-ness, until this teaching is assimilated, is living in the body. The I-ness is living in the mind. The I-ness is identified with the prana. So therefore, the Annamaya is totally dissected, is totally revealed, opened up, and shown that there is no a place for the I to be here. There is no place for the I here at all. What is the I doing here? Nothing. Because what are we looking at? If we are looking at the Annamaya, what constitutes the Annamaya? Annarasamaya means this body mind complex. If we are looking at, that means that which we look at is what? Is not Atma. Anatma. That is the clue here. That is exactly what to understand here. That is what we must not miss here. Because otherwise, if you take it as jiva, then the head will be fully, we'll go on the wrong track. Then later on, we'll say, oh, what is the one? Where is Brahman? Then how can I be Brahman? That same question will keep on nagging at oneself, nagging at one, even after listening to the whole Upanishad. So even at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I keep repeating this. I keep repeating that, Annam is Brahman. Brahman is not Annam. Brahman transcends Annam. So then, so therefore, that's why they are called Bhuta, Praja, etc. So we are talking of the body, mind, sense complex. So Itaresham for the others, Annamaya Dhinam for all the other Annamaya, Pranamaya, etc. For the for those bodies which are the body, mind, sense complexes. Karanam, the cause is Annam. The cause is Annam. That's why Annat Jayante. Ataha Annaprabhavaha. They are all they are all this Jyeshtham Karanam that is there. Prathamajam Karanam, this Annam. They are Annaprabhavaha. These bodies, these minds have come from Annam. Anna Jivanaha. So they are sustained by Annam. That's why every 2 hours something is needed. And then the person says, I feel weak. I have to put something in my mouth. Oh, and then you tell all your friends, I have a very quick metabolism. I have to eat something. And otherwise I get restless. First I get hungry, then I get angry. And there is a word for that. What is that? Hangry. Okay. And so like this, so therefore, Anna Jivanaha, then Anna Pralayascha, same thing. They are going back to Annam. All these bodies, not the Jivas. Jivas are not going back to Annam. The bodies are going back to Annam. Body, mind, sense complex, that is going back to Annam. Anna Pralayascha. Therefore, Annat Prabhavanti. They are born of Annam. Who? Sarvaha Prajaha. All the beings are born of Anna Jivanaha. Annena Jivanam Yesham Te. So, for whom the life is from Annam only, whose cause of living is Annam only. Then Anna Prati Gachanti here, Anna Pralayascha, Anne Eva Prakarshena Liyante, Anna Pralayaha. So they become one, they get resolved in Brahman. Who are these they? Not the Jiva. Only Annamaya, etc. The body, mind, sense complex. Okay? Yeah, they get resolved in Annam only. And otherwise, you'll just say, what is, if supposing somebody asks, what are you studying in Bhashya class? I am Annam. That is not what the thing is. What you're studying is I am Brahman. Okay? But here, as an intermediate step, I am Brahman right now in the form of Annam. That is where we are going to go there. We are not yet there. Okay. Right now, all we are seeing is this body, which I consider to be myself. That's why the confusion. With the body which that's why I keep on pointing this out. The body which I consider to be myself is being told, no. That is Annamaya. This is something you can observe. And this is being negated because you're not the body. Anyontara Atma Pranamaya. Oh, I'm the prana. Yes, for the time being, you're the prana. Oh, I'm not the prana. No, prana is done, over with. The dissection is complete. You are the manaha. Oh, I'm mana. Okay, I want something to cling on to. So it's just like a person who's had some kind of an accident or an injury. And then what? You have to slowly do exercises. Person cannot walk. First is in a wheelchair. And then with a walker, we saw this earlier. We saw this metaphor. Then with a stick, a cane. And then after that, what? With some braces on the leg. Okay, walk, come on. With 2 bars. Hold on to the bars and walk. And then after that, hold on to the wall or somebody's hand and walk. And then slowly that also is not needed. So now we are still in the wheelchair. That metaphor, that part of the metaphor, because we are still looking at you are one is feeling, I am addicted to identification with myself as the body. That is being questioned here, because what is this body? The body has come back from has come from Annam, goes back to Annam, sustained by Annam. How can it be you? How can it be you? That is what it is. That is the body. So what belongs to the body is given back to the body. And there is no I-ness there, because you are the observer. You are the one that is dissecting the Shastra along with the teacher. You are dissecting the Shastra. And so the anne eva liyante, it's resolved. And then what? The resolved here means the Annamaya is resolved. Annamaya is gone. It is gone because Anna Pralayascha. Who Sarvaha Prajaha, all these beings born, which are embodied, which include trees, etc. So then, Yasmat evam tasmat sarvaushadham sarva praninam daha prashamanam annam uchyate. Yasmat, another reason is given. This being so, first Anna being the karana of everything, then one is back to Anna that we saw. This much we have seen that. And then what is this? Yasmat cha evam tasmat sarva aushadham. It's not only the karana of everything, it is the remedy. Aushadhi here, aushadham is remedy. It is the medicine. Food is medicine. How is food medicine? Sarvaushadham uchyate. The food is called medicine by the jnanis, by the saints, by people, by the panditas. Uchyate, panditaihi uchyate. By the panditas, by the people who know. Panditaihi sarvaushadham iti uchyate. It is seen to be, it is seen as medicine, and it is seen as a remedy, remedial. It has a remedial purpose. What is the remedial purpose? Sarva pranina, for all the beings, daha prashamanam. Daha means hunger here. Tikakara defines this well. Kshut is called daha. Tikakara says, Jathara Krita Kshut Daha. So this Kshut means hunger. Hunger is called Daha. Tikakara explains this very well. The hunger is called Daha. Why? Daha usually means from Dah, to burn. Hunger burns. What? A hole in the stomach. Jatharagni, which is again, which is again this, it is again Brahman. That Bhagavan in the form of Jatharagni makes the person hungry. Because if you're not hungry, you won't eat. And if you don't eat, the body is not sustained. And then if the body is not sustained, how will all the karmas of all the jivas get exhausted? Not possible. And so therefore, or the body goes before the karma is exhausted. And so therefore, there is a beautiful setup. The baby is born hungry. Every 2 hours you have to feed it, and that habit doesn't go till till the person goes. And this work from home has been deadly for many people, because they find that they are just working from the kitchen, not from the home. And so because many times whenever they want, they can eat. and so that discipline will not be there. And so here the annam is oshadham because of two reasons. Why? It is able to create hunger. Oh, but I thought annam fulfills the hunger. How is annam creating the hunger? Well, the annam that you ate, which has been digested, is now again has created the hunger because of that metabolism, etc. It's a whole cycle. It's an entire cycle. This, if you're curious about this, you can listen to the talks on the Chandogya Upanishad. Ashanaya, means desire to eat. And in fact, the desire to eat is actually thirst. Ashitam nayati, that which takes the food, carries the food which is eaten. What is that? Water. So Ashanaya is the word for water really, even though is the word for water literally, Ashitam Nayati, but figuratively, Lakshanayaha, by Lakshanaya, it is the word for hunger. Why? Hunger happens when that food is digested. Then hunger happens, and the desire to eat happens. So then that's why it is able to create hunger. And then the absence of annam creates the hunger, and the presence of annam eliminates the hunger. And of course, as I said, the thirst is also included. Daha prashamanam annam iti uchyate. So jathara krita, jatharagni krita, jatharagni krita. What is that? That kshut, the hunger. Aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninam deham ashritah. This is what Bhagavan says in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I am in the form of Vaishvanara. And so this is Jatharagni, this is Bhagavan in the form of Hiranyagarbha. And that is what causes Bhagavan burns through your stomach in the form of the digestive fire, causing the hunger. And that leads to a whole chain of sustenance, because no eating, no sustenance. And so you have got to have hunger, you have got to have thirst, water is needed to carry and digest the food. And so all this is there. If the hunger is not there, then anything, some people have that problem. Sometimes, you eat something wrong, and then 3 days one is not hungry. Stomach flu comes. One whole day, one just feels like, you just don't even feel like looking at the food. The fellow doesn't even feel like looking at the food. And so this way, so the hunger is a very big thing. The role of hunger is to keep this life going. It's all automatic, all Bhagavat Srishti. And so even the trees require food, water, etc. And the survival is there. The survival part is taken care of by the Srishti. Very, very nice. And then we have Sarva Praninam Daha Prashamanam Annam iti Uchyate. All right. So it is called Sarva Aushadham. Sarva means here all the beings. For all the beings, it is the remedy. So Sarvasya Karanam Brahma, at this level, the cause of everything is Brahman. How? Because here the Prithvi, see, it is these 5 elements that are there. The Panchabhutas are there, and then the Panchabhutas have given rise to food, and then the food has given rise to this body. So the body is what? Is a product of the 5 elements. And then the 5 elements have come from what? Tasmat Brahmanah, Etasmat Atmanah, Akashas Sambhutah, Akashad Vayu, etc. We have seen that. And so, so therefore, this Brahman alone is in the form of food. How that Brahman which has come from Akasha inheres in the food. Annatmakena, in the form of Annam. This is called Virat. Srishtam Jagat. So in the form of Virat. So Brahmopasana, meditating upon Brahman in the Annam Brahma iti Upasana. The meditating upon Brahman in the form of food is what? Is the is invoking Brahman in the form of Virat. Why? Sarvasya Karanam. All the prajas are there. For all of them, food is there, needed. The food is the Karana of all of them. And that which is the effect, the body is covered, Vyapta, covered or by the Karana. Pervaded and sustained by the Karana. And so same thing. And so therefore, this Vyashti, at the Vyashti level, at the individual level, Brahman of the body, mind, sense complex, Annam in the form of Brahman becomes an object of worship. This is what it is. Because one sees that no longer that one is alone in this universe, one is beautifully in Viradatma. My own body is included in the five elements. This is a very, very nice inclusion. I'm not outside. I'm not lonely. I'm not alone. I'm one with the five elements. I'm here. It is just wonderful. I'm right here. And it is right there. It is just all great. I'm in the form of the five elements. Annam is also a product of the five elements, but it sustains me. So it is a remedy for this hunger. It is aushadham. It is aushadha. And so therefore, this is this is the understanding here. It sustains, and the body, of course, is born of annam and sustains everything. And so just like pot and clay. So when you think of clay, the pot is not included in the thought. You don't have to have a pot thought in order to have a clay thought, do you? No. You can have a clay thought without having pot thought, lid thought, Krishna figurine thought, nothing. You can just have a clay thought. But when you have a pot thought, the clay is included, is it not? Yes. You cannot have a pot thought without having clay thought. But you can have a clay thought without needing to think of pot. That is the whole idea. So you cannot think of this. Like this is exactly like this. This ghata is the physical body, and so it is. It is at the Vyashti level. It is like the pot. So when you think of the physical body, you have to think of its cause. What is the cause? Annam Brahma. Don't say just Brahman. Annam Brahma is the cause of this body. So when I think of this body, I cannot think separated from Annam Brahma. Annam in the form of Brahma. Annatma, Brahmatma. That is what it is. I'm unable to separate it. And that is where that whole alienation, I am just somebody plopped somewhere, and then I'm alienated from my parents, I'm alienated from my siblings, I'm alienated from my friends, and I'm just alone. You're not alone. I'm lonely. You're not lonely. You're not alone. You're not lonely. Then what are you? You're connected. You're connected. Just like the pot is connected to the whole earthenware world. One connection. And second connection, of course, it is connected to clay. That is a euphemism. It is made of clay. Its whole being is dependent on clay. Similarly, your body, mind, sense complex dependent on, don't say clay here, clay sthaniya, that which occupies the place of clay, which is Annam Brahma. Very beautiful to look at it this way. And if you look at it this way, already there is a kind of a relaxation. Even food issues go away, I tell you, really. It's amazing. Because I'm already one with food. I'm already one with the whole setup of the five elements. So this body is already there. And then I is residing very strongly in this body, and it has to be removed, not torn off, not cognitively slowly edged. That identification is resolved. How? Not by saying, "Oh, you are not. You are not the body." That's easy to say. You are saying, but here it's a much more nuanced situation. Body is Brahman because food is Brahman. Therefore, the body that is living off the food is definitely Brahman. Brahman is not just the body because Brahman is everything. Without being, any one thing. And so therefore, now we are entering into this upasana called ahangraha upasana, a kind of a superior upasana. I talked about this earlier. Two kinds of upasanas I talked about. One of them was called ahangraha, and what was the other one called?
Sampatti Upasana.
Sampatti upasana. Very good. So ahangraha upasana means this aham grihyate means that I is included. The I is included in which upasana? That is a kind of a, the meditation, and that is called ahangraha upasana. Sampatti upasana is usually a superimposition like saligrame, Vishnum dhyayet, etc., etc. Okay, and so this is now we are going to come to this ahangraha upasana. And what is this ahangraha upasana? What do you do? This shariram, is this shariram which I consider to be aham. With this annamaya rupa, in the form of this annamaya rupa, this aham is vyaptam by what? This aham, this I, this body is pervaded by Ishvara. How? In the form, don't get all Vedantic and esoteric. Oh yes, the body is pervaded by Ishvara. No, in the form of Annam. Okay, yeah, let's just stay with food here. Yes. So how much can we talk about food from the standpoint of Vedanta? And it's endless and it's so beautiful, and slowly we are just, like a plane, slowly climbing and taking off. So, watch this, it's amazing. So, it is Vyaptam by Bhagavan in the form of food. And when you know this, what are you? Are you Brahmavit? No, 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 no. I am Anna Brahmavit. I know only Brahman in the form of Annam alone. I don't know any other Brahman. Right now I have been introduced to Brahman. How? In the form of food. Therefore, that's why I'm a foodie, because that's what it is. Wherever I see food, and that is I am learning to look upon the food as Brahma. So I'm not Brahmavit. So that's why I cannot say Brahmavida apnoti param. I cannot say Brahmavida apnoti param. I have not gained the param. What have I gained? Aparam Brahma. How? In the form of Annam Brahma. So therefore, when I study this section, I can call myself a graduate of this particular kosha, Anna Brahmavit. I know Annam. What is this Annam that you know? First, I know it is Prathamaja, it is Jyeshtha. Second, it is the Karana of this body. If it is the Karana of this body, it is the Karana of all bodies, mind you. Not just the Karana of this body, it's the Karana of all bodies. So it is Brahman. Annam is Brahman. So I am Anna Brahmavit. I know Annam. And so this is what it is. And then then there is a section. What, so if you know Annam as Brahman, what do you get? Who is this section for? This section is for everyone, really, because nobody does anything without getting something in return. मुझे क्या मिलेगा? Where is my reward? I sat through 1 hour of Bhashya now. Where is my reward? And I'm now, grappling with how to wrap the mind around the fact that Annam is Brahman and this body is a product of Annam. So this is also Brahman. I am, so I'm seeing this oneness. What will I get out of this knowledge? Because it is a kind of a knowledge. And then it is also a knowledge because it is also a practice and a knowledge at the same time. It is a practice because I am looking upon Annam as Brahman. It's a practice. Why is it a practice? Because it is, the Upanishad herself says it is in the form of a upasana. It is a meditation. So therefore it's a meditative practice. It's a contemplative practice where the I is included. Therefore it is called ahangraha upasana. So it's a deliberate practice It's a specific practice, a deliberate practice. Okay, so then it's a practice, but it is also a kind of a knowledge. And what is that at the same time? What is the knowledge? I'm non-separate from annam, which is not, it's not that, I'm surrounded by idlis like that. That's not the idea. I'm non-separate from annam means I'm non-separate from annam as Brahman. That is what I'm non-separate from. And so, Anna Brahmavit Vidaha Phalam Phala Kathanam. To the next section, number 40, is the narration, Kathanam, narration of what happens if you know Annam as Brahma. What happens? So let us repeat the Bhashya. Annam Brahmavidah
अन्नब्रह्मविदः
फलमुच्यते
फलमुच्यते
सर्वं वैते
सर्वं वैते
समस्त अन्नजातम्
समस्त अन्नजातम्
आप्नुवन्ति
आप्नुवन्ति
के ये अन्नं ब्रह्म
ये अन्नं ब्रह्म
यथोक्तम् उपासते
यथोक्तम् उपासते
Anna Brahmavidah. So now, when you are not a Brahmavid yet, you are Anna Brahmavid. You know Annam as Brahma, as a Brahman incarnate. And so you are Anna Brahmavid. And so what do you get out of this kind of a understanding? So that is being narrated here. So Anna Brahmavidah Phalasya Kathanam. So what is this phalam that is pointed out? Sarvam vaite annam apnuvanti ye annam brahma iti upasate. This is the Shruti Vakya. Sarvam vai, indeed. Sarvam means all. And what is this all? Sarvam, the Upanishad doesn't point out what this Sarvam is. Bhashyakara says, Samastam Annajatam Apnuvanti. So Apnuvanti means they Prapnuvanti. So they gain, they enjoy, they enjoy what? They enjoy everything born of Annam, meaning, we'll just take the relative level meaning first. All the food stuffs they enjoy. The food just comes to them. They are like a food magnet. So they get a lot of food all the time. And if they grow something also, like tomatoes or something, if they start growing, they will grow so much that when the neighbors and friends come, they will just, they will not visit. They will just duck when they see you. Because, you will just want to give them tomatoes. And so like this, they do very well with produce. They may do very well. Such people maybe they who have done Anna Brahma Upasana are the owners of grocery stores in the next life. Who knows? Possible, they are surrounded by food, and they are, they have the food plays a or restaurateurs or something. Food plays a prominent role in their lives, like these world famous Michelin chefs and all these people. So they have that, they were perhaps in a previous life Anna Brahma Upasakas. And so Sarvam Anna Jatam Samastam Apnuvanti. So they get all kinds of annam because of this upasana. They'll never have any problem with food. Everything that whatever they're, because 6 tastes are there. And then all the tastes are fulfilled, all the taste buds and the taste glands are fulfilled. Everything, every kind of cuisine they can get. Maybe they get to travel everywhere, so they end up tasting various kinds of cuisines, etc. This is the relative meaning. Now, the Anna Brahmavit and the Upasana, because this is a, what is that called? It is a Jnana portion. I pointed this out yesterday. It's the Jnana Kanda. It's a Jnana portion. And so, even though there is Upasana, we have to look at what the implications are for Atma Jnanam here. And so here they identified with Virad Atma. The food is resolved, food is gone here. So Brahman is retained. And they operate upon that same Lakshana. Annam Brahma. Annam goes and resolves in Brahman. So all that is left is Brahman in the form of Virat. And in the form of Virat, that which sustains everything, Vividham Rajate, that which is in the form of everything. And so they give up the smallness. I am this miserable body, I am the mind, I am this crying feeling, victimized feeling is totally given up, is fully given up. And why? As a result of this upasana. Now, which phalam do you want? Do you want to be surrounded by food? Or do you want the latter to identify with Virad, Atma, etc.? And if your answer is both, no problem. You can get both because both are listed as phalams. Okay, both are listed there. So the giving up of smallness, and because of this upasana, they identified with this Virat as Atma. This Virat Atma, I am this Bhagavan, I am this Brahman in the form of food. Food goes away, only Brahman is retained. And so they come to see food as Bhagavan and they relate directly to Bhagavan, and they understand that they enjoy that letting go of the smallness. That is the, because it is the jnana portion, that is what we can say. Okay, yeah. So then who are these people? Who gains this? Ye annam brahma yathoktam upasate. The K means ye. These who are these people? Ye annam brahma yathoktam upasate. So this this Virat Brahma upasate. So the ones who understand this Virat Atma, this Annam Brahma, and here it is Annam Brahma. So this upasana, when you do, it is what? Karyam Brahma. It is not Karanam Brahma, it is Brahman with a name and form. So then when this Karya Brahma upasana, what happens? Then it is Viratmatmakam Brahma, Annarupam Brahma, Yathoktam. Yathoktam means as was talked about, upasate. These are all second conjugation verbs. Second conjugation verbs like ja, gr and upasate, etc. Upasate sounds singular actually, like labhate. But no, it is plural. Upaste, upasate, upasate. And so upasate is actually plural. So those who meditate upon this Brahman as Annam. Here Annam is gone. They just meditate upon Brahman as Annam. How? And that's what is there. Yathoktam. And how I am born of the Annam. So this body is this body is born of Annam, sustained by Annam, goes back to Annam. This is how they have to meditate. And then if they meditate like this, and Bhashyakara will tell us how to do this upasana, he will tell us, because secretly some people may be wanting this upasana. So we will get a nice tutorial next time. So Bhashyakara will give us a tutorial, and then when they meditate in this form, they get these kinds of phalas. This seems like a good place to stop. We'll meet next week. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.